It is settled. I need a change. While I am successful in the business community, I want to do something more meaningful.
So what are you going to do? Join the Peace Corps?
Nope. I've decided to get into the education space.
Really? I didn't know you knew anything about education.
Well, I just keep hearing on the news about races and napes and all of these dollars going to reforms. I want in before the tipping point comes.
So are you going to become a teacher?
Are you kidding? They start work at, like, 8 in the morning. Besides, that whole licensure thing seems like a lot of work.
You could try Teach for America.
Nah. My grades weren't that good. And that summer boot camp seems a bit much for me.
So are you going to go back to school? Maybe get a doctorate?
Don't be silly. That is a huge commitment. And I was never much for reading. I don't think they have YouTube videos for the classes I need to take.
So maybe you will become an advocate?
I'm too cynical for that. You have to be a real believer, and you have to spend your time talking to the less fortunate. That isn't me.
I don't understand. What exactly are you going to do in education then?
Simple. I'm going to become an education pundit.
That sounds great. But don't you need to know a lot about education to do that? My brother is a teacher, and he uses acronyms and terms I've never heard before.
I did some research on the internet, and it seems pretty easy. It is all about vocabulary. Look, I even downloaded a list of terms that seem to be popular. Go ahead, ask me my thoughts on some.
Okay, school choice.
Yes, I believe every kid should choose to go to school.
Teachers' unions?
I've seen enough TV shows to know that teachers shouldn't hook up with other teachers. Never fish off the company pier. So I'm opposed to teachers' unions. After all, what family could really live on the salaries of 2 teachers?
Accountability.
As hard as it may be for me, I believe in it. Math is important. Every kid should be able to count, at least in the double digits.
STEM.
That's just too controversial an issue. All that discussion of frozen embryos and umbilical cords and blood use. And I wouldn't want to anger the church. I pass.
Teacher incentives.
Of course. I would never take away those summer vacations. That is the biggest incentive for a teacher.
Teacher prep.
Isn't that why we give them the teacher's editions of textbooks?
Turnaround schools?
That's really a decision for the town. At my child's school, they really tried to restrict traffic around our building, so I'd hate for folks to turn around in the parking lot.
No child left behind.
We need to make sure every kid is on that school bus every afternoon. Those classes can get dark at night. We shouldn't leave any kids there.
I'm not quite sure if you are ready for this. What happens if someone questions your qualifications?
I went to school. What more do they expect?
Some folks are actually knowledgeable about the issues.
Forget that. I'll talk about my business experience and the need for fresh thinking. I am for helping poor kids. I am for higher scores. And if someone wants to play the knowledge card, I'll just accuse them of being a defender of the status quo. Let them defend that.
Sounds like you have this all figured out. So how do you go about becoming an education pundit?
Seems pretty simple. I need to start a blog and a Twitter feed. I need a Facebook fan page. And I need to have a catchy name or title that I use.
But there seems to be so many people who already have that, and don't seem to get any recognition. How are you going to stand out?
I just need to pick something controversial to launch my education platform. But I'm still undecided.
What do you have it narrowed down to?
I can't decide if I want to go on Fox News calling for all public teachers to be fired and replaced with robots from Japan, China and Finland, or if I want to get on NPR demanding that every starting teacher make $250,000 a year and be given a staff to help support them in and out of the classroom.
Quite a dilemma. But it is good you have a plan.
So how do I pick up 2,000 Twitter followers fast? I cannot be credible with only 14 followers. Maybe I'll announce Oprah is taking over Chicago schools. Or Apple is giving free computers to all districts with more than 10,000 kids. That should get some attention.
Wow. Is that really true?
Who knows? Who cares? It is education. Some folks will believe it. Some folks will discredit. But they'll all talk about it. Isn't that all that matters?
Are you ready to make a movie?